Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2. So in part 2, we're going to be messing around with the volumes, getting everything to sound correct. So I'm not going to use the session, I'm going to use the live clip editor, so that way we can get with our channels and adjust things accordingly. Just going to boost this up a little bit more, get more definition into our mixers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop main 2. And for main 2, I'm basically going to have everything playing and adjust the relative volume. So what I mean by that is that I'm going to solo my percussion and beat and make my beat louder. Over the whole mix, I'm going to make my beat loudest. I'm just going to adjust these channels, but I want to give you an in-depth of what I do. So that way you can start to mess around and start to get a feel for how my style works. Let's begin. One quick reminder, if you can't get another solo, just hold down Command and then click it. So now that we have all the nice relative volumes, I'm going to go into my master, and since we don't have anything for the master setting, I'm going to throw on a basic saturator and turn on soft clip. So that way when anything goes into the red, it's not going to be that big of an impact. And I should tell you guys this in advance, is that whenever you're going to master anything, it should always be negative 0.85. And the reason why that is so that way that is just the standard of mix engineers and how they render things out. They always have it at a negative 85 decibels. But if you want to be super professional, or if you feel like going above the standard and creating your own, I always like to take 5 decibels out. The reason why is just in case anything peaks, you can always catch it. So now that we got our soft clip master on, we're gonna mess with this in part 3, but I want to get down some of the volumes. So I have some things written down so that way we can follow, and that is the drone. So let's go to our drone, warm drone. It says that the threshold needs to be down a little bit more. So let's see what this means. So negative 41.7 for the warm drone. I guess it wasn't down far enough. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our bass tab, and we're going to take this amount all the way to 0. Watch what happens when I do that. Or listen to what happens when I do that. It still goes up and down thanks to the randomness, but when it does that, it still raises that still wobbliness, so I just took off the amount. I guess we didn't need to have it in the first place. The second thing I'm going to do, or actually the third thing I'm going to do, is I think it was in Jive Stab, I'm not sure. Yeah, in Jive Stab, turn up the amount to 15. It gives it a little bit more panning effect. I think that's all we do. And for the effects, I think we fixed that already in the first part. So that sounds a little bit better to me. And I guess I'll see you guys in part 3 for our final All-Finer Master. And that, actually, you know what? Let me include it in with this part. So I'm gonna go over to my master, and as things play in the background, let me just take this back down to needs your volume. So what I'm going to do is, as this plays, I'm going to throw on a compressor and a multi-band dynamic, and that should do it. But I should notice that it is incredibly crucial to spend some of your hard-earned money on a finalized plugin. What I like to do is I spent it on the glue. The glue is already built in of Live 9, and I can see why. The glue is incredibly powerful, even if you just put it on one of its defaults, and I'll let you see what this is. But yeah, it's super crazy. It even has an exit in for side chaining and things like that. It's pretty useful. It's $100, but it's really powerful. I love it so much. Anyways, I just turn on the make it loud, and that's what it does. And that's basically what I do for my mastering, is that I don't mess with any of the compressor, but I do use the multi-band dynamics and the saturator. I right click the saturator, turn it on high quality, and set this to a sine fold. What this sine fold does is that it brings all the relatively low volume up to middle volume. So what this does is that it finesses the sound so that way it brings up all the harmonics instead of the harmonics that the EQ is focused on. It brings up all the extra volume that you can't quite hear in with the other different waveforms. So as this plays, and I'm gonna turn it back up to its regular volume, I'm going to adjust some of these bands, and it's pretty efficient. So yeah, and then after this, I guess I'll just call it for you guys and then teach you guys something awesome in the next week or so. I just got to get material revved up for that. So let's go. So that calls it for the rest of the 7-day parts. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful adventure. It was actually kind of a struggle to kind of put everything together, but I guess when it comes down to it, if I want to teach you guys something, I really can. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And I'll probably put out a video next week starting on Monday. It's probably going to be the first of the few days. So I should tell you guys that tomorrow, or actually the rest of today, is actually cramming day. So tomorrow is my final, and yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. I just have to really flush out a GMO paper for the Mayas and the Monsanto Corporation. Stuff like that. Just what is organic, what isn't organic. It's really boring stuff to actually talk about this. Anyways, but it's good that I'm doing a paper on it. So yeah, for the next week, I have a few things planned. A lot of changes are going to be happening next week. On Monday, it's going to be Musical Monday, Tumble Tuesday, Time Warp Wednesday. I think there's Triple Threat Thursday, Info Friday, Special Saturday, and Super Special Sunday. Those 7 days are going to mark a consistent week of videos. So every single day across those days, you're gonna get a video, and it's going to be either one video or 3 videos or something different. But yeah, every single day of the next week, you're going to get a video. The reason why I've decided to do it this way is so that way I don't feel stagnant, because life is so beautiful that it feels stupid to me to waste it and not teach you guys something that I've learned that is very useful, or what pops out of my head, because I'm a limitless amount of creativity, and I really want to teach you guys all of the effects, all of the tools, and everything that I use. because a lot of other people don't do that. If you notice, a lot of people go into tutorials, but they don't explain every single thing. I'm a little bit of a pet peeve when it comes to that, so I try and include every little thing. So yeah, apart from next week getting a video every single day, that's just a basic standard. Once I get that down, then I'm gonna add more and more and more. And it's just gonna keep building and building and building. Because I'm unique. I say, no, I'm different. I don't have to be part of your tribe to be cool or unique. I'm part of my own tribe. I got my own people. They're cool. They're cooler than you. Whatever. Anyways, those own people, that's you guys. You're my community. You're my group. You're my little special, awesome party group. So yeah. Hopefully, eventually, I will gain enough momentum to bring this into your personal lives. So I'm going to be doing something that a lot of people don't do. Maybe they do it every once in a while, but they don't do it occasionally enough to really impact people. Because I have a lot of information that can really be helpful. Sorry for the little bit of a rant, but you guys are the best. You guys pushed me beyond anything that I could have done alone. So thank you guys very much. Be more awesome than me because you already are. And have a fantastic, wonderful day. Peace. Hey everyone. Thanks for joining me on this like 3-month long adventure. I know it's supposed to be like a week, but it's been much longer than that. I know that for sure. So thanks for joining me on it. It's supposed to take me a week or even just a day, and it took much longer than usual. So, but that's progress. Anyways, tomorrow you'll be receiving the first music week day video. I'm not sure what to call it, but like weekly video, I guess. And also, if you want to contact me, you always can below. And as always, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it as always, and stay safe. Peace.